Hi everybody, the Sports Guppy with you. A technology, a beautiful thing. It's a Friday afternoon here in the middle of May. And I can give you more of a proper introduction now to myself because I think I found a way to upload videos a little faster. I did a 10-minute video trial a little while ago. Looks like it would take about 30 minutes to upload. So I'll keep this one a little shorter, but should be able to upload them fairly quickly. So just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. And I am the Sports Guppy. I am faceless. You will see my hair the way I'm doing these, but might as well keep my face to myself. As you can see from my hair, I'm not a young kid. I'm actually in my mid-50s. I've had a long career in consulting in the energy industry. That's my main job. I also, last year, started a business doing tax returns. I am not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. But I know the tax code, and I can do your taxes. And maybe if we all become buddies and we do well in this little venture, then perhaps some of you next season would consider letting me do your taxes. But the reason for this video is to introduce me as the Sports Guppy. Now, many of you know where the Sports Guppy came from. It was originally tongue-in-cheek. Most of us that are on this page now, at one point or another, either are or have been associated with the plays of the Sports Whale and the Champ system. Yeah, I kind of made fun of them a little bit. The Sports Whale, that's how I came up with the Sports Guppy. Because they weren't doing so well. They have been very good sports about this, by the way. I think I've been, I haven't been real critical. I've not been mean, nasty, just kind of poking fun. And they have taken it, I think, in the spirit that I intended it to. But a funny thing happened. You know, I started the Sports Guppy a few weeks ago. And it was kind of holding its own for a few weeks. And then, as you all know, about, well, almost 3 weeks ago, Monday will be 3 weeks, the Sports Betting Whale, we kind of came up with a new system. We kind of now learned to understand what his system really is and how it works, the money management part. I won't speak for the sports picking part, but the money management part became much clearer to everybody about 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, I took $2,000, dedicated it to the Sports Whale, and decided to take $1,000 and dedicated it to the Sports Guppy. In each case, I did what he suggested for a non-plenishing situation where I took the $2,000 and divided it into 5 $400 segments, and I took my $1,000 for the Guppy and divided it into 5 $200 segments. And a funny thing has happened in the last 3 weeks. Up to date, as of today, before today's games, in those 3 weeks, the Whale has lost $894, and we are in for about $1144, or roughly half, a little over half of that $2,000 bankroll. But the Sports Guppy has made a profit of over $6,200, $6,267 to be precise. That's on top of the $1,000 I started with. That's the profit. At one point, I was in for also about half of my original $1,000. Played for, I think, $505. I have put all that back. So I'm playing strictly now on, quote, house money. And that's how this whole thing kind of got started. Well, you know, if it had been a day or two, you'd think, okay, well, he's had a nice little lucky streak, but it seems like the last couple of weeks have been pretty strong. It still may be beginner's luck. I have no idea. I'm not making any promises. I am not going to hold myself out there as some sports genius that can handicap everything. All I know is the results the last couple of weeks have been pretty darn good. And to some credit, I'm going to give to the Whale's money management system. that really does accelerate. And let me give you an example of doing it and doing it patiently. When I first started with my $1,000 and the $200 split bankroll, I was only a $5 play because that $5 parlay was the minimum that my book will allow me to do. And can't go any lower than that, and for quite a while it wasn't going any higher than that either. I won a couple, was able to accelerate it a little bit. Well, now all of a sudden, a 3-unit play on a $6,000 profit, I mean, do the math, it's $180 a unit. Not a unit, I beg your pardon. $60, about $62 a unit, but if I do a 3-unit play, it's about $185. Now all of a sudden we're talking about some real money if 3 and 4 teamers come in when you're playing them for that amount. Now the one thing I'm going to be very careful of now that I've got a profit, easy come, easy go. If I make a mistake and say I get greedy, let's say I play 6 round robins, each one at 3 units, that's 15 units times 6, that's 90 units. All of a sudden I've used 90%, or I've risked 90% of that profit, and who says I can't go 0-6? It's certainly been done before. We've seen it, haven't we? And then all of a sudden my profit's gone in one day. So I'm going to be careful not to accelerate quite to that amount, because I'm not gullible enough to believe that I can continue to win on a daily basis, or almost a daily basis, like I have of late. I do believe cold streaks are coming, but I'm certainly not in one right now. I'm on a fairly hot streak. So that's why I'm doing this. I've got some personal reasons, which I'll share perhaps in another video, but at least wanted to give you all a more proper introduction of the Sports Guppy. I will be around. I will, like the whale, I will answer questions if you give them to me on videos. I'll also answer them in the comments section. I may do more comments than videos just due to time restraints, but I'll try to do a video a few times a week, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun with this. Feel free to sign up. I hope you'll play my plays. Play them rather cautiously for a while. Those of you that perhaps have not been seeing how I've been doing, I certainly would understand if you start cautiously. Start very cautiously if you want to. But I have a feeling that long term, I may be able to succeed at this. At least that's the hope. But I'm not promising anybody anything. All right, I am going to sign off now. I'm going to go look at the board and formulate my plays, and I will put them on my site here in just a few minutes. So, or in a little bit. It won't be a few minutes, but it will be well before game times begin. Anyway, that's it from this issue of the Sports Guppy, and I'll talk to you all soon.